Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today I've got a notepad review. I'm going to be taking a look at this. This is the Endless Recorder and this uses the Regalia paper. What we're going to do is take a look at the paper. We'll have a quick look through the book. I'll give you some thoughts about it. And as I'm doing this, I'm also going to compare it to my other Endless Recorder book, which has got 68 GSM Tomoe River paper in it. So join me now, down on the table, let's jump on in and look at this notepad. Here's the notebook down on the table. I've taken the plastic shrink wrap off it. So this is the Endless Recorder, world's most ink-friendly notebook, 80 GSM, acid-free, ink-loving Regalia paper. And this is dotted. So we've got that on the front. Then on the back, we've got about the recorder and features. Opening it up, let's go back to the front. We can take this out now. So this just comes off. There we go. And I threw this. This was in the front. So we've got here a little thank you. Inside, a recorder ID. I like that idea, giving it a number. Then there's a little sticker there, think big. That'll go onto one of my bullet journals shortly. We've got the paper here. So this is cream coloured in the front. And as we go forward, we've got a table of contents. Let's move this over, then we can get it both in. So this is, I would say the paper is not quite white. There's a little teeny bit of creaminess to it. Then we come into the main paper. So we do have a page number. So we'll start with page number 1. Dotted paper. Feels quite nice. I'm just going to go to a random page. Feels smooth. Not sure if it's coated. There's no texture to it as I'm running my fingers over. Very nice. As I say, it's got a slightly off-white colour. And then right the way to the back, you'll see some of the writing I've done for my testing. 187 pages. Then at the back here, oh, look at that, where that mess came through with that pilot. At the back, we've got a little pouch where we can put loose bits of paper. So I'm going to jump back to where I was doing my writing. So I've already done some writing tests. We're going to do a couple more. So we've got here the test pen I used. This was on the very back page. So I'm not going to say that this is actually part of the Regalia paper. I think it is. We'll look on this second page for the actual test. So I used a Pilot Custom Heritage 92 with a medium nib. We've got a lot of feather in here, and as you can see, it bled through terrible. The ink, Van Diemen Apple Island Green. Regalia paper. It was 40 Aussie dollars. And that gives you 187 pages. That's 21 cents per page. Now I'm going to compare this with this Endless Recorder. This is the Tomoe River version. This is 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. Let me just open it up. And then I did the same stats. So on here, can we get them both side by side? I think we can just about. I know I'm messing a little bit. So here we've got the exact same pen, Pilot Custom Heritage 92 with a medium nib, Van Diemen Apple Island Green, 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. This was 36 Aussie dollars for 187 pages, which worked out at 19 cents per page. I don't think they make this Tomoe River version anymore. I think all there is old stock. But the Tomoe River version, ever so slightly cheaper. And if we're looking at just this one, we can see that on the Regalia paper here, or what I think may be Regalia, shall I say, we've got more like spreading, more feathering. Not seeing that over on the Tomoe River paper. Hard to say what's coming through on the other side because I've got writing there. But what we will now do is look where I did my actual writing samples, my writing tests. Let me get these bookmark, page mark things out of the way. They're a bit of a pain in the butt from time to time, but they're handy for quickly getting to your pages. So far I've done tests with the Pen BBS 308 with Cult Pens Deep Dark Green. So that had a fine nib on it. we've got on the right, this is the Tomoe River paper. On the left, that's the Regalia paper. To me, I'm seeing a little bit of feathering on the Regalia paper compared to the Tomoe River. I've also tested with the Clavicle Sport. That's got the 1.1 nib, Diamine Yule log. Again, not seeing too much now in terms of feathering, but I think I'm seeing with the Regalia, I think I do see a little bit more in terms of colour variation in the ink. My Just Turnings pen, this is the Enceladus with Robert Oster Tranquility, a very wet combo. Again, the colour on the Regalia paper, I really like. I think it comes out so much nicer on the Regalia. There's more shading coming through that I can see. If we look at the Waterman Karen, and we're actually seeing a similar story now. So the Regalia paper, there's the Karen with Diamine Oxblood. The Regalia paper, again, there's more colour variation in my writing. There's more character coming through. Really liking the look of it. Next up, we've got the Asvine V169 with Herban Diablo Month. Brighter colour, more of a bluer colour on the Regalia paper, whereas over here on the Tomoe River paper, it looks a bit more washed out. So again, on the Regalia paper, I actually like the look of it better. Then the Lamy AL Star, that's got the 1.5 stub nib. There we go, there's the AL Star. Here, again, darker colour coming through on the Regalia paper than what I'm seeing on the Tomoe River paper. So far, with the ones I've tested, I actually quite like the look of the colouring that's coming through on the Regalia paper. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Now, before we turn it over, let's do some live writing, shall we? So I'm going to move these both up. So remember, Tomoe River, Regalia. Next pen I'm going to use, this is Aranga Santa. This has got a 1.1 stub. So we've got here Aranga Santa with a 1.1 stub, and that's going up against Aranga Santa with a 1.1 stub. So when I'm writing on the Tomoe River paper, it feels smoother, whereas over here on the Regalia paper, it feels like there's a little bit of texture under the nib. So the ink by Diamine, and it's Red Dragon. Nice dark ink. Nice bright ink as well. You know, it really does show colour through. So Diamine, Red Dragon. So next up, I thought we'll go for a slightly different one. This is a Wingsung 698. This has got a Wingsung gold nib on it. So we've got here a Wingsung. .698 with, it's a fine nib and it's 14 karat gold. The ink is Diamine, Monbodo's hat. So we've got here Wingsung 698, Diamine, Monbodo's hat. Yet again, I'm finding it's more enjoyable writing on the Regalia paper. That little bit of texture, it just, I don't know how best to describe it, it just lets you add like the feeling of character to your writing. Colour wise, the ink is a dark purple, and Not really seeing much purple on either of them. Maybe a little bit there on the wing sun. But let's see how it dries. My next fountain pen is a Platinum Preppy. This has got an 05 nib, so I believe that's a medium nib. And the ink is Lamy, Crystal, Obsidian. So again, Platinum Preppy. With 05 and Lamy, Crystal, Obsidian. I do think the line on this Regalia paper does look slightly wider, so I'm guessing the paper is absorbing a little bit more of the ink as I'm writing. Right, we're going to swap up now. Next pen. I'm going to call it a Bic Biro. It's a standard biro. So a Bic Biro. And over here we've got a Bic Biro. And a fountain pen video with a Bic Biro. Not an enjoyable combination, I will be honest, but I spend most of my time writing with fountain pens, so I don't use the biros often enough now. Next up, we've got a fine liner, an art line there, fine 04. So we've got art line. It's fine. It's 0.4. Again, art line. Fine, 0.4. Again, on this paper here, I'm seeing that the line on the Regalia paper here seems to be wider than the line that I'm seeing over here on the Tomoe River paper. Final writing test is a pencil. Do you know why I know it's a pencil? Because it says there, this is a pencil. Gives a big hint, doesn't it? So this was from Cult Pens. So it's a Cult Pens pencil. It doesn't tell you what it is. I'm guessing it's HB. So we've got over here Cult Pens pencil. Again, it seems a slightly darker line on the Regalia paper than what I'm seeing over here on the Tomoe River paper. Let's just turn the pages over to see if anything comes through. So we'll start with the Tomoe River paper. So the other side of the page, not really see, yes you can see a little bit of show through, but not really getting any ink coming through. I'd be quite happy using both sides of this page regardless of the pen. The Regalia paper, slightly different story. That top one, which was the Pen BBS 308 fine nib and Cult Pens deep dark green. Look at how that's coming through there. Rest of the page, not too bad. Just this top one. If I was going to be using both sides of the page and I saw this, I wouldn't be able to because that's just showing through too much. But that's the only real downside. I mean, yes, we saw a little bit here with that Custom Heritage 92 as well showing through. But that was the last page of the book, which is why I did my testing here. The paper does feel a lot more textured. So if I'm picking up the pages, let me get that. In fact, let's go random. Let's go randomly through. Then we've got a little bit of a comparison. The paper, you can tell it's thicker. You know, we're talking 80 GSM versus 68 GSM. The Tomoe River paper does feel smoother. When you're comparing them, there is a texture between the two that you can feel. As I'm feeling the texture on this, it's quite nice. It's not as textured as something like Ayush paper. Still pleasant to use though. All in all, quite pleased with this. Not sure what I'm going to use this notebook for yet. My current Tomoe River one is used for a couple of things. So I use it when I'm doing my ink vents. I also give it to my wife and use it for rough testing when I'm trying to test my pens on different bits of paper. And I'm only up to page 64 out of 187. So that's taken me 2 years to get that far. Let me just pop that away, pop that to one side. This one, I say, not sure what I'm going to use it for. I may use it for some of my writing practice, but I'm not certain about that. I've still got to work out what it is that I want to use it. What would you recommend? Go on, let's drop a comment down below. What do you think I should be using this paper for? I'd love to get your suggestions. It's an A5 notebook. I already have a book that I'm using for my journal. I've already got a book that I'm using for my ink samples. Is it worth holding on to this and use this for my journal when the other one's full? Love to get your feedback. All in all, it's not bad. You know, we've got these couple of bookmarks, so will be handy for a bullet journal for me. I like the table of contents. I like the dot grid paper. Although I didn't call it out, I have written down here, there's 38 rows and 25 columns, exactly the same as what's in the Tomoe River version. Pages are numbered. The paper feels nice. I think this is going to be a really good addition to my collection once I know what I'm going to use it for. So they're my rough thoughts on this Endless Recorder Regalia paper A5 notebook. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What are your thoughts on this Regalia paper? Have you got some? Have you tried it? What other papers are there out there that you think it might be worth me trying? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.